run into in Lab 3, or Lab 4 here rather, with this infographic about crime is the issue of graphical order. So if you picture like a stack of photos, right, and at any one time you can only see the photo that's on top, and even if you spread them out, if the photos overlap, the areas of the photos below the top photo won't be visible. And essentially when you're working in a graphical kind of production environment like ArcInfo's layout view, you run into a similar situation. You can add elements, data frames, things like legends, text boxes, and the like, and what will end up happening is that your text items or whatever will end up overlapping one another, and so you want to be able to not only move them around in X and Y, so kind of left and right and up and down, but also in terms of depth, so put one on top of the other or shuffle them around. So this is just kind of a how-to on exactly how that works in ArcMap. And in general, if you've messed around with kind of graphical production environments on the computer, like Photoshop or Illustrator or Freehand or any of those sorts of software packages, it's kind of a similar way that this works. But anyway, I'm going to switch over to layout view, and this isn't a perfect map. It's not an infographic yet, but I'm here just to kind of show you the process for stacking items up. So let's insert a couple items here. We'll insert a title, and we'll just call it title, and maybe we'll add a bunch more text just so that it's kind of spans a little bit more space. We'll insert a north arrow, and maybe we make it pretty big just for illustration purposes. Now you can see this is on top of, and so is the title, on top of the map data. Maybe we insert a chunk of scale text as well, and we make that really big, again just for illustration purposes. Now let's say that we want the scale text, actually to not overlap completely, and I don't know why you would do this, not overlap the map completely. Well, essentially all you have to do is make sure that the arrow tool here is selected, and you click on the item that you want to move around in what I'm going to refer to as Z space or depth here. And yeah, you can move it around in X and in Y, but if you want to move it backwards or forwards, you want to click on it, make sure it's surrounded by this dotted blue line, and then right click, and it'll bring up this menu. And there are a bunch of different options. There's a couple how-tos that deal with converting to graphics, but what you're really looking for here is order. And you'll see there are 4 options, and you can either bring the item all the way to the front of the stack, you can send it all the way to the back of the stack, you can bring it forward 1 level, or send it backward 1 level. So if we wanted to send it all the way back, we can click send to back, and it should be behind all of these other graphic items, and in fact everything else will print on top of this. But if we want to make it the top item, and let's just work with 2 right now, if we wanted it to be on top, we could either select this and send it backwards. You can send it back 1, and now it's probably behind this, or we can send it backwards twice, order, send backward, and there must be some other item. It's hard to tell. Here, if we change this color to something like ugly, you can see maybe we go backwards 1 more time, send backward, and there. So just think of it as you're stacking up items, and this will work also with layouts. Or with data frames as well. So keep that in mind. If you have another data frame overlapping this one, they stack up similarly. And that's it.